Hello Scorpio, so let's see what March brings for you. So Scorpio for March, Scorpio for March, Scorpio for March, Scorpio for March, Scorpio for March. All right. Bottom of the deck is Six of Wands. Six of Wands. I'm just trying to get this camera a little bit higher. It's always talking about a victory, whether it is up or down. It's just simply kind of like sometimes it doesn't feel to us as we don't feel very victorious when something just happens, like when we expected it. Like this is just a reminder that we need to kind of like take life for what it is, that sometimes is unexpected, and even if we think something is the sure thing, that things can really happen. We also have the Hermit over here, which is really telling me that you need to go a little bit internal. You need to internalize. You're like this sign that interprets events and things from the bottom up, not from the outside in. And everything has to be intentional. Everything has to be done properly. So, interestingly enough, you also have Five of Wands, the very first card. So Five of Wands talks about maybe other people's involvement, maybe challenging your beliefs, maybe challenging your direction, maybe wondering who you really are, needing to find yourself. Like this is really talking about having an eye on a ball and on your goal so hard that you're just trying to remove anybody who is perceived a threat or an obstacle, right? And maybe kind of like when you win, you just like don't feel like that excitement, and that's kind of like what we see, because here, you know, you're supposed to go yay, but it really doesn't happen. It just like almost like feels like, ugh, I kind of like pushed myself in, or I bullied myself in. Maybe somebody else bullied themselves on you, so that's something. And there's like a Three of first. Well, both talking about, again, just like as I said, when that your control seems to be kind of like taken away from you. A fixed sign. I mean, I'm a fixed sign. I know how control can really impact our lives, and we kind of like really have a hard time kind of like about the direction. So fixed signs really like keep all this whole things together, right? And when control is taken away from us, we just like feel just a little kind of like leaf in a turbulent river. And this is kind of like what it looks to me, that you're fighting through something. Maybe you're feeling through some strong emotions. Maybe you have a PTSD, that something has been kind of like pushed through, like buttons, and certain things are resurfacing. Keep in mind, we are going through Pisces, and Pisces is your sister sign. And Pisces is like usually transition that allows us to dream if you wish, right? So signs that take our dreams really seriously, such as we fix signs, we structure, and then somebody pulls like basically puzzle. Somebody pulls something in the middle. It kind of destabilizes us, and certain things resurface, which means you might have arguments with your partner over something that you thought was old. You might question if your partner is the real one, and just like getting your way, feel like, you know, it should be happening that way. So let's see. Then you have a Nine of Wands, which kind of like talks about going toward his goal. You're really in your sight, like it's really close to you. You're sent there to win. Winning is really on your mind here, Scorpio, and you have kind of like you're hitting walls in that winning, and you're saying to yourself, nope, I'm close, right? It's almost like when you kind of like have a blood in the ocean and a shark is nearby, it's just kind of like going there. So you're very instinctual, you're really going there, but you really need to go intuitively because you have fire and air. This is almost like fish out of water that I see over here. Now look at that, you see some kind of betrayal. Something did you in the past, And the worst part is that you feel that you have seen it, that you should have seen it, rather to say, that you should have noticed it, or how and why did they do that. So this happens, for example, situation where your best friend flirts with your man, or girlfriend flirts with you. Like, I mean, that really happens when we're expecting a promotion and we are confiding in someone from work, and then you realize this person just realized all your weaknesses and actually carving their own path. So imagine the shock. It's not only that you don't have anybody to commiserate with, but sort of like they kind of like gamble it out. I can see kind of like something really brewing over here. On top of it is Page of Pentacles. It is reversed. So it's really talking, it's really interesting that this kind of showed up. So it was some kind of status quo, which looks like maybe you wanted to kind of like shake down or shake up. It was like just certain things were not moving. It's kind of honking on the horn. Come on, let's move, let's keep going, let's kind of like do it. And that's really frustrating for you because this one is super slow. I mean, I'm really talking about super slow snail with broken legs, slow. And this is like super fast, right? Like maybe not rocket fast, but airplane fast. So you can see maybe you have a partner that two of you have a completely different mode of speed. That usually happens in a relationship when one partner wants something, another partner is almost like shocked with this idea because they're not there yet. And sometimes people react to it in a way, oh well, you know, because I'm not there and you told me you love me, you told me you want something serious, we have to break up. I never understood that, just because in love and in relationships and even in career, not everything happens, not everybody is like on the same kind of like speed. Then you have like Seven of Cups. Well, actually this is really good. So Seven of Cups is adjusting to me, and two sevens are mirroring each other, that you're finding solace in processing that internally, right? So, and it's emotional. Finally something is coming through, whether this means and actually what is really through, because check this out, can you see the kitty cat is sleeping here and here, and both of them could be completely, this one is really not fictional, but this could be fictional. So maybe you're falling into what if kind of like gap. Maybe you're falling, if I just did that, or if I did that. This really talks about dreaming different things, but it's also talking about not necessarily accomplishing them for one reason or another. In your own house, now we have a Knight of Cups, but it is reversed. So it almost looks to me that you may have been hurt, or maybe you had to push certain things forward and they don't feel right, that they feel awkward, to the point that maybe you're not emotionally able to express yourself. You're getting a little bit tight, or maybe you're even completely walking away from this entire situation. I mean, I have like I see fire, I see air, I see water, which kind of like talks about emotional, kind of like emotionally you're not grounded. You really want to move forward. You're kind of used to resolving things. You're like problem solver. But it almost looks like everything around you, it could be falling apart a little bit. It's so weird. Both you and in your environment, there's like this sense of that betrayal. Like you feel that maybe something was taken right under your nose. Something that was just about to happen. You know, the proverbial carrot on the stick. And somebody else feels you backstab them. So what has happened over here? Like, why am I not seeing the Tower? Tower would tell me, hey, you know, if this is a couplehood, these people were just dreaming different dreams, and there was like something in between, some energy, some glue that was like sustaining that, but like where to go from there. And then that's Judgment. That's kind of Pluto, but it is reversed. Even though in this particular category, it's hopes and dreams, and I'm interpreting it both way. But check this pentagram if it's kind of like if it gives us a little bit more clarity with this camera. When it got reversed, it's kind of like, well, actually it is really not reversed. It's almost like everywhere is bent. So actually that's good. Initially I thought it was reversed, but it isn't. Well, Judgment, when it reverses, it really talks about something karmic. It is one of my karma cards. It really talks about reckoning. It talks about paying for something and realization of something. The problem is, like, sometimes we kind of like, we just do things and we notice what other people do to us, but we don't necessarily notice what we do to the others. Sometimes because they don't stop us, they don't shake us, and they don't tell us. And we are fixed signs. We are like really dedicated in building something up. So when this card shows up, it really talks about now destiny steps in, karma steps in, and karma is shaking the entire thing up over here. And you're left out in the cold. Oh my goodness, that's a bad reading. And I'm really sorry to tell you this, Scorpio, but it just like feel like being abandoned, feeling inadequate, feeling being left out. For some of you, that's going to mean the third person. And the third person could be just simply that somebody had their own, basically, finger in that pie. For the others, it's going to mean that, for example, you have a partner with a child and they just cannot do it. They just cannot move forward. And there is like the whole sense of suspension. What is really interesting here is like that we are starting this reading with a 5. Fives are not balanced, right? So you see a square, you see the house. That's basically that structure. And the 5, it's almost like now this tension is introduced in this entire thing, and it's ending up with a tension. So it's going to be a lot of turmoil that will be going through this entire month. And this came through, but this is still telling you, do not give up. Look at that. Work on your partnership. You need to work into it. I think this is like a resurfacing of some kind of like old grievances and old pain, maybe yours, maybe theirs, maybe both. And that's actually really good, you know, like in order for something permanent, because that's basically what the Judgment suggests, and that's the only major arcana you have in this reading. Your fears are that certain things are not going to be forgotten, or that you'll be able to move forward from something. But your hope is also that you will be able to. You need to understand that the strength of fixed sign is that you can move mountains. You can do whatever you want. And you can even build it from the very beginning if you just really want it. So you need to focus not on the others, but on the problem. And the problem is like not how to resolve the problem, but how to connect. So keep that in mind, my dear Scorpio. So if this is a situation you're finding yourself in, please contact me for a reading. Individual situation will differ on different planets that you're going to have in your chart. Please also check your moon sign and your ascendant to kind of like see more influences that are coming. And don't forget to come to my live every Saturday at 11 Eastern Standard Time. I love you, Scorpio. My fingers are crossed for you this month. You can do it, just one step at a time.